Greetings, movie fans. Nothing new here. Um, Apparently, this channel is being taken over by a moose, who's a cat. He's a happy cat. Apparently, he's a very happy cat. I can see this right now. So yes, he's not a black cat, but he's a black and white cat who is apparently very affectionate right now. So it's not movie time; it's moose time. Hey, I guess cats do what they want to do, right? Greetings, movie. Let's try that again. Greetings, movie fans. William, the movie fan here. So today is October 31st in the United States and in other parts of the world, because that's how dates and calendars work. Unless, of course, you're on the other side of the timeline, which it's tomorrow. But we're not going to go there. This is not a time travel thing. This is a Halloween movie thing. And I just thought I'd throw down a couple of quick movies that I thought would be really cool to watch tonight. If you want some good, spooky, scary, maybe a little gory, fun stuff here. You might have missed them. There's one I'm sure you probably didn't miss. Became quite the cult favorite. And we're first talking about the movie from 1982, The Thing. Of course, it's actually interesting because it was directed by John Carpenter, of course, and he used a lot of his favorite actors in the movie, like Kurt Russell, for example, and a few others. But interestingly enough, the music was done by Ennio Morricone. Normally, John Carpenter does his own music, but not this time. He went to the Italian maestro. Very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why not. It's been out since 1982. But it's a slow build. It's a lot of like who done it, who is it. I'm not sure what's going on. And it's kind of the same vein as all these movies I'm going to talk about today. Excellent. A lot of tension. It's a thriller. It's a science fiction. It's sort of a who done it or who is it. Not really who done it, but who is it, right? Who is the thing? If you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check it out. And you should turn the lights off. I mean, it's spooky, scary. And when you hear that noise in the other side of the house, you hope it's your cat, right? So that's our first movie. And again, I said it stars a whole bunch of cool John Carpenter type actors in it. And these movies, as I'll probably mention more than once, are all available on Amazon Prime for $3 to $5 for rental, and they're totally 100% worth it. The next movie is Jacob's Ladder from 1990. This one stars Tim Robbins and Elizabeth Pena, also Danny Aiello in a really good role. Danny is always a good actor, and he kind of takes small parts and makes them, in my opinion, much, much larger. But that's the old saying of there are no small parts, only small actors. But Jacob's Ladder is an interesting one. Kind of the same, what's going on, who done it, who is it, what's really happening sort of thing. Basically, you have a guy comes back from Vietnam, is having some flashbacks. Is he, experimented on with drugs? Is he going through some kind of illness? Is he just hallucinating? What's really happening? And when I first saw this back years ago, I didn't really understand it because I was not as well versed in movies and acting as I am now. like that. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm a big name actor. Anyway, but this one, now that I've seen it again, is actually more of a thinking man and woman's person's a movie, actually, because you're not really sure. This is a movie you got to really watch, and there's a lot of clues and a lot of things. You're like, what's going on? So you are also kind of like The Thing, trying to figure out what's really happening because you're not really sure. And you're kind of figuring out as the actors and actresses are trying to figure it out in the movie, at least the main actor for sure. I think that's the right way to do movies because I think we've seen some more recent movies, they kind of missed the mark on that. Whereas you already know what's going on, so you're kind of bored, and the other people have to find out what you already know, so it's kind of boring. Whereas this one, you're not sure, and you learn about it as the actors learn about it. It's very interesting. So it's called Jacob's Ladder from 1990. It's a horror, mystery, drama type movie. There's a few bits of humor in there, like most good horror movies are. But there's some really trippy stuff in this movie. So if you're easily scared by really grotesque, kind of frightening images, this is the movie for you. That is, if you like that sort of thing. And if you don't, then, well, just don't watch it then, I guess. But yeah, it's trippy. It's a thought-provoking movie. It's emotional at times. It's very horrifying at times. One minute you're having fun laughing, and next minute there are strange things going, not just bump in the night, but anyway, so check it out. And finally, my third choice is my personal favorite. It's kind of one of those guilty pleasures, you know. And this movie reminds me a lot of 1984's movie Dune, which again wasn't the best movie out there. There was a lot of problems with production, and the editing was weird, and they kind of deviated, et cetera, from the source material. But it looks great, Dune, and the soundtrack is great, and even the actors that cast in it did a really great job. But it's sort of like Dune and this movie I'm going to talk about is basically the parts are better than the sum of the whole. So this movie I'm talking about is from 1983 called The Keep, and it stars Scott Glenn, Jurgen Prochnow, Ian McKellen in one of his kind of early big-ish named roles. It was directed by Michael Mann, and there's a very, very interesting history of this movie. Basically, Michael Mann had a vision for this. He went, kind of to the, full tilt to the nines, as they might say, in maybe in your parts of the world or not. He kind of tried to do too much, I think, kind of like with David Lynch's Dune. The studio didn't like it so much, they kind of took it from him and chopped it up and made it really, really bad. Well, I wouldn't say bad. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. It's rough, but you see the diamond. And it's a beautiful diamond. Now, I will say again, this soundtrack by Tangerine Dream is amazing. You should check it out. Go on YouTube and check out Tangerine Dream, The Keep soundtrack. And it's great. The movie score soundtrack is tremendous. Michael Mann also directed other movies like Thief with James Caan, another good movie. And surprisingly, the soundtrack was also done by Tangerine Dream. Also a good movie. So he's done a few good movies, done a lot of producing, mostly recently. But this one kind of left a sour taste in his mouth. They really haven't released it on DVD, but you can pick it up and watch it on Amazon Prime for about $2.99. So it's totally worth a watch. You'll see the rough part. You'll see the diamond part. Some of the storyline doesn't make sense. Some of it's kind of hokey. Special effects don't really hold up as well today, obviously. I personally like the practical creature effect of the creature because he's sort of man-looking but not man-looking. So he's sort of man-ish looking, like he looks like a sort of person but not. But it's interesting. Gabriel Byrne is the Nazi SS officer is good, and a few others that are great. And one of the best actors in my opinion. He's got a really small part, but it's William Morgan Shepherd, and he's that old kind of wizened, I don't know, voice of reason, someone you speak to who gives you, you got to go find out something, and he's the one who tells you with a really cool sounding voice, and he's kind of got the grizzled face and the wrinkles and the beard, and he's got kind of the crazy eyes going on a little bit.
You must not stay here.
But yeah, his voice is just great. So, of course, Nazis don't listen to him. But it's interesting, only because you can see where he was trying to do with the movie. Michael Mann was trying to do with the movie. But it's still a good, scary kind of like what's going on. You're not sure why things are they are. The music, the location shooting, the like I said, the cinematography makes it feel strange and tense. And again, it's sort of the horror thriller type movie. I personally think it's one of my favorites. But again, it's sort of like I said, a guilty pleasure like Dune. It's sort of a favorite that you like to watch just because you understand it and you get the rough bits. But you see that, the parts are really cool. But those are my three choices. Again, The Thing from 1982, Jacob's Ladder from 1990, and The Keep from 1983. Again, I went to some older movies because there's a lot of scary, gory type movies today. But these are movies you might have missed. And certainly people nowadays have seen The Thing enough to know it's really good. But it's a good movie to watch just so you can kind of go back and go, can I figure out what happened as the Thing, movie progresses, who is the Thing, and were you right? And then at the very end, you can kind of see like, so it's the same thing with sort of all of these in a way, at least the first two. The Keep, not as much because you kind of know what's going on, sort of. But there are a few surprises. So, and if you have any suggestions for scary movies and you want to tell me what I might have missed or what I should see, comment down below here. And if you have any suggestions of movies I should see, because in the United States, of course, the holiday season is approaching with Thanksgiving coming up, and of course Christmas and Hanukkah and all those wonderful holidays at the end of the year. And I might be throwing out some interesting, fun movies for the holidays. But if you have any suggestions for those, let me know down below. And this has been me, William Movie Fan, and I want you to stay tuned for more. See ya.